Hey everyone, my name is Charizard750. We're here playing a game called Warframe, and I'm about to explain what the premise of this channel is. So, this game is Warframe. It is a fast-paced looter shooter in the third person that's primarily PvE focused. The idea of this channel is that this game is known as Grind Frame, and that's because a lot of the game's pretty simple, but can take a while and to get. So, what I'm showing you on the screen now is a Warframe called Harrow. He's pretty infamous in the community for being very difficult to grind for because of the missions you have to play to get his parts. So, you get the main quest, main blueprint in a quest, and then you have to go do missions to get his parts. I already have the Harrow chassis. It's honestly pretty simple to acquire. But the premise of this, I guess this channel is, I'm going to be playing one of the missions that takes a while to do. It's kind of a pain. It can be a bit buggy. I'm kidding, DE. I love you. They're the developers. But it can be a pain, and I figured I'd just record my experience and see if I can track my mental decline as we play it. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I'm going to be using Oberon, which is like a paladin, and the Ignis Wraith, which is just a giant flamethrower. If you want, I can kind of post my builds and stuff as well, but I doubt anyone's actually going to watch this. So, you know, yeah. So, yeah, this mission's known as Defection. If you guys don't know, I'm hacking a door. So the person talking to me is the Lotus. She's also known as Space Mum. God bless Space Mum, I believe. So the idea is that these guys here, you're trying to save them. So that's their health meter up the top. You gotta make sure that doesn't, you know, go below 0. Very, very simple game design, really. However, the part that I'm looking for runs at an 11% drop chance. Nice, rare resource. It runs at an 11% drop chance after you've rescued 8 of these squads, which, as you can imagine, is a lot, because it takes a while. And yeah, so that's why it's known as kind of an awful grind. Some people put podcasts on. I do that a bit as well. I've actually never done this mission before. I just know how to play it. I thought it would be funny to, you know, record myself doing this, and, you know, give me some incentive to actually do this. So, yeah. So, you know, it's alright so far. Just a cheeky... So this guy on the right is Sargus Rock. He's the big bad of this planet. Yeah. It's yeah, he's part of the Grenier, which are basically, the premise is this is set post-humanism, in which the OG humans kind of evolved into various castes, and then they all went extinct and the galaxy just kind of went to shit. Shock horror. Humans are garbage, as we all know. I wait for the inevitable collapse of society. Yeah, so these guys are part of what's called the Grenier, who are basically like the grunts or the infantry of the Orokin, who are the post-human, basically, gods. You know, that old that old quote from Arthur C. Clarke, where any technology sufficiently advanced is pretty much indistinguishable from magic. Yeah, that's them. Whee! So, on the bottom left, you can see I got a reward. That was rotation A. So every 2 squads I rescue, I get a reward, and each reward comes from a rotation. Sorry, from a pool of rewards depending on, and that pool depends on which rotation I'm on. So, the rotation pools go A, B, C, which means that I have to rescue 8 squads to get for an 11% chance at the one I want. Which isn't too bad, realistically. However, as you can see, this mission isn't exactly difficult, and it's just kind of a pain to do, it's time consuming. Escort missions will always suck ass. But it's alright, because, I'm here, I'm chatting. Yeah. Yeah. I do enjoy the change in science fiction. Maybe from the 80s, you could blame Orwell, I guess. But that real change between, yeah, don't worry guys, in the future, it's all going to be wonderful, we'll have figured everything out, to what it is now, which is, life is garbage, everything is pain. I pray for the end. Which, as a millennial Gen Z boarder, I think I really relate to, just on a personal level. Like, I really think cats have it right. Just sleep, eat, kill for sport, repeat. Like that. That really sounds like a good time. Maybe not the killing for sport thing, they do have some pretty serious effects on, any species. Especially if they were introduced to a country. Which, thanks to Europeans, they were pretty much introduced to every country. Because white people were like that back in the day. Just colonizing everything. Just, look at us, we're so important, we own so many things. Alright. Yeah. So, I brought up colonization already, that's a good start. Yeah, so, the Grenier basically deteriorate over time because they've been cloned for many successive generations. Unfortunately, this game was made before the Japanese had actually perfected cloning. So if you don't know, there was a study a while ago where some scientists basically added or cloned 30 successive generations of mice or rats with no negative effects, which was pretty cool. This guy's gone. He's a rebel. I'm going to call him Steve. Mostly because any Steve I know is a bit of a rebel. Yeah. Yeah, that's amusing. So, like, generations upon generations of successive cloning basically left these guys a bit unstable genetically. But instead of, just developing cancers like a normal genetically unstable person would, they, like, have their eyes fall out and stuff. I don't know. They know. I'm guessing some people know some about science, but, it's alright. So if you can't tell, I am a scientist. Ooh, so that laughing is a manic. And yeah, it's, I guess we're gonna... Yeah. So he's got invulnerable phases. Unfortunately, I'm using a pretty in-game build right now. Because I wasn't sure how well I'd be able to focus on gameplay and talking shit. But I'm guessing what I'm doing is just making a boring gameplay video and talking shit. So, we'll get there. If this even goes on YouTube. It probably will. I really need to, do something like this. Alright. So, that's 3 out of 8 squads rescued in 8 minutes. Whee! Wipey wipey. Pcha! I slice! I slice! I slice! Slice, yeah. Good slice. Alright. So now we're going to C. I do feel sorry for Sargus Rock. He, or really any boss in this game, because, yeah, there's always these, like, big monologues as you're, like, running to the boss. And, yeah, it's all like, but Tenno, which is what we are, by the way. This is a Tenno. Oh, but Tenno, like, how will you ever, like, beat me with my ultimate weapon? And then you one-shot them with your primed sniper rifle. Which is, it's always amusing, you know? You're like, oh, look at me, I'm the baddest person in this universe. And then some shitheads with void powers show up and are like, you thought. You thought. Yeah, we're kind of the jocks of this galaxy. That's a good analogy. I never thought I'd call, you know, Warframes the jocks of the galaxy, but yeah, I think that's very apt. We are just big old bullies, basically. I mean, we do care, you know, we help a lot of innocent people when they agree to pay us. And I don't really know who wouldn't pay us, because, you know, we're, I can't imagine what defaulting on debt to a Warframe would be like. Scary, I imagine. Very scary. Ah, why have you gone that way? Please, just... So, that skill I've got going is a heal. Because it works on these guys. And it makes life a bit easier. So normally you'd pick up these pods and charge... Oh, I was going to point at the screen, but I'm actually just recording my screen. I'm just going to charge med stations. Like... Yeah. Pacha. Yeah, so you charge med stations and then it, like, refills their health. And it's just a good time for all, you know? Pacha! So now that's gone up, and we're all happy. Yeah. So the other thing that I've been thinking about a lot with this game is, like, we're the jocks, right? But, like, you know, in these games it's always like you're purportedly helping people. But, like, how much am I actually helping, you know? Like, if these guys can just clone themselves, like, does anything work well, you know? I don't know. I know you're Grenier. However, I get paid, and that's the key here, folks. That is the key. Yeah. So the melee weapon I'm using right now is called a Zor. It's a modular melee weapon from one of the open world parts of this game. Yeah, this place also has open world. It's pretty strong, as demonstrated. I mean, realistically, these are quite low level enemies, but you know, it's all right. And yeah, it just does damage. Yeah. Yeah, it does plague damage. It's from an event. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, so this is squad 6 out of 8. I don't know if anyone's still actually gonna be watching after this point. If so, I mean, good job, honestly, like, Christ. But yeah. Ugh. Yeah. So, as of recording this video, there's been a big controversy in the news about some genetically edited babies using CRISPR that have been born. And, yeah, I don't agree with genetically editing babies and then, you know, letting them be born. Well, that's a hard one, because I don't think the babies should have been allowed to, you know, have been implanted in any way. It should have been a proof of principle. Because, you know, you hear about this stuff and you're like, that's really sad, you know, like, what if, you know, what if this person didn't want to be genetically edited? Which I don't think is entirely unreasonable. And you know, like am I going to B or C? I'm going to C. You know, like, I mean, you know, obviously given the choice, you know, you didn't want to be genetically edited. I get that. You know, science can be scary, and I get that. You know, I'm a scientist. And yeah, I really think it's on us to you know, bring science to the people more so than ever these days. What with the invention of things like the internet. Oh man, that's a mood. You know, like I don't think we really can get away with the crazy scientist stereotype these days being acceptable in a world where, you know, objectively science is kind of needs us. Yeah. It'll be fine. I'm sure. You know, the world, it's either going to collapse or not, and you know that. It just sounds peaceful, you know? Just peaceful. But I mean, you know, preferably, I'd like to not have the world collapse. But, you know, I guess we'll take what we're given, right? Like, oh, that's morbid. Is it morbid, though? I don't know. You know, I'm expecting to get pretty morbid on, in this series, because I'm just going to record a whole bunch of them. And, you know, see where we go. But yeah, you know, like, decide, where was I? Science, the world is ending, the world is garbage, humans are terrible people. Yeah! Yeah! So, you know, the humans, we all suck. And that's just kind of a fact at this point. Anyone who says otherwise is being paid, to be honest. Yeah. Also, man, I'm thinking about the defectors now, like you're cloned from birth. You have a genetic defect that makes them passive and unable to fight. And then you defect from you're basically your boss that's like, no, you must fight. It's the equivalent of Troy Bolton's dad telling him he has to play basketball, really. And then some big old jock comes and is like, no, it's okay. Troy, you can sing to your heart's content because I believe in your dreams. And also because someone's paying me to, you know, believe in your dreams. Like, what a wild time. Yeah, imagine telling that story at a bar, you know? Like, oh yeah, this one time I was being confronted by my dad equivalent telling me that I had to, you know, dance in the Grenier School musical. And then, you know, your space jock friend is like, it's alright, bud. I believe in you. We're gonna get you out of your, you know, Grenier dad's house. Yeah, we're gonna get you away from that environment. And then you're like, okay, what do I do now? And then your space jock is like, I don't know. Like, what do you want to do? And then they're like, I don't know. Guess just deteriorate until I die. And then the space jock just kind of goes mood. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so there are syndicates in this game, kind of like factions. There are 6 factions, well, 6 main factions. And we're about to get invaded by one of them, which is exciting. You know, That's always fun. I love being invaded. Invade me, daddy. You know, and yeah, can't argue with that. Like, I thought we would get invaded. Yeah, sometimes you can just outrun them. That happens. I can fight! Ah, there they are. I think it's time for Zort. Yeah, so that red light flashing lets me know that I've defeated the enemy. But really, I feel like the enemy is the self. Because once you defeat that, you truly be enlightened, you know? And, yeah, like, imagine... I'm just gonna meditate. Yeah, and try and reach some enlightenment. I'll be alright. I'm a pretty tanky lad at this point. For fuck's sake, really? Oh my god. Okay. So the idea was that I would record like 2 or 3 hours of me farming this to get these systems, and instead I get it on the first try. Cool. I guess this is now a Warframe channel. Ugh. GG everyone.